Hello, Steve, Canadian Sasquatch, coming at you with another Mead Monday. Let's go ahead and just get right into it today. Today's mead, Blackberry Melomel from Texas Mead Works. So right off the bat, we know it is Blackberry Melomel. Nice pop. So it is an 11% Blackberry Melomel. See what it looks like here as we pour it out. Nice deep red. Yeah, nice deep red color. Lots of ruby notes in there. Let's go ahead and get the aroma. Oh yeah, I get the berries. There's blackberry, there's currant. I might even say a little bit of cherry aroma on that. It is also, it's very dark ruby red, and it is crystal clear. This is what a mead should look like. So let's go ahead and get a flavor on this. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this Mead Monday. So it is definitely blackberry. You get that blackberry flavor and tartness from it. But it is also a sweet mead, so it covers up that tartness very pleasantly. I'd just flat out be a sweet mead, not semi-sweet, but sweet. Not cloying, not thick, just above the semi-sweet. Nice coating of the mouth of the flavors. Maybe a slight hint of carbonation going on in the bottle there, because I do get the tingly under the tongue like you do when you drink something carbonated, which also explains the loud pop of the bottle. I am also getting some pomegranate on the pomegranate flavor, a little bit of that tartness as well. It's definitely also has the astringency that I like in a mead that just makes you want to drink some more. Yeah, this is a really good mead. I'm quite pleased with this one. So let's go into scoring. So the label, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. It tells me it's blackberry, tells me who they are, it tells me it's 11%. It does mention that you can age it for like 5 to 10 years, but it doesn't have the date on the bottle. And that's something that everybody should be putting on their bottles, is the date that it was made or bottled or something. That way you know how old it is. Like if you want to age it 5 to 10 years, well, in 5 to 10 years from now, how do I know it's not 1 year old, or if it's 10 years old or 5 years old or whatever? So dates on bottles, people. The appearance, it's a gorgeous red, ruby red, nice legs. Like I mentioned, it's crystal clear. I can't knock this at all. It's getting a 10 out of 10. The aroma, again, a nice dark berry aroma with the blackberry. There's the cherry, pomegranate, currant, maybe some like dark plum in there as well. Just very, very pleasant. No hint of the sweetness. I think for the aroma, it's I'm gonna have to go with probably a 9. I do get just something in there just doesn't want me to put it right out of 10 for the aroma. Can't exactly figure out what it is, but 9 out of 10 on that. The taste is great. The berries, the drink be more astringency, the sweetness. It might be I think the body feel, which I put into the taste, is just a little bit low for this. I think I'd rather have it a little bit more full body. It's more of a medium body. I'm getting no off flavors in it. I think I'm going to give the taste an 8. So when you guys see me looking that way, I'm jotting down my numbers down here because I can't keep them up here. And my overall impression is this is a really well done mead. Texas Mead Works. There they are again. Texas Mead Works. Blackberry Melomel. Really well done. Overall, I'm going to have to give them a 9. So that gives them a total of 37 out of 42. That is a damn tasty mead right there. So well done, Texas Mead Works. The first really good mead that we've had, except for the Bochette. The Bochette was really good. But yeah, it's really quite good. And now into part 2 of Mead Monday, where I answer your guys' question. Several of you have asked recently about backsweetening, how to do it, when to do it, all that good stuff. So it fits in well with this tasty beverage. I don't know if it was backsweetened or if it was fermented to that sweetness. I don't know. But it is a good question. It can be complicated. It can be easy. So let's go into straight up backsweetening. You have a mead. It fermented way drier than you wish. What can you do about that? First thing you need to do is you need to take care of those yeasties. And there's three things to do about that. Number 1, we need to get all the yeast out of suspension. So the best way to do that is cold crash. You cold crash, the yeast will clump together and fall down. We talked about that, I believe it was last week when we were talking about clarifying. Same thing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to rack that off of those yeasts into another carboy or whatnot. And then we're going to sterilize the yeast. That means stopping them from being able to reproduce and then killing them. And we need that 1-2 punch because while we're killing the yeast, they could be budding and reproducing and causing new yeast to pop up after the killing part has happened, and we have new yeast that have not been killed. So we need to sterilize the yeast and kill the yeast. And we can do that with a 1-2 punch of using potassium sorbate, which sterilizes the yeast, and then potassium metabisulfite, which kills the yeast. And typically you'll want about a half teaspoon of potassium sorbate per gallon to sterilize the yeast, and then 1/16 of a teaspoon of the potassium sulfite to kill off the yeast, and that's per gallon. So after you do that, they've been sterilized, they're killed off. You put those in there, you stir it up. 24 hours later, what I would do is cold crash it again, make sure all the yeast have settled out, and then you rack it off onto the whatever you want to backsweeten. You don't have to necessarily backsweeten with honey. You can backsweeten with sugar. I don't recommend that because what's the point? We're making mead here. But you can backsweeten with fruit juices. So if you're making peach mead, since that was so popular during the 3rd annual Canadian Sasquatch Mead Challenge, you backsweeten with some peach juices. Backsweeten with cherry juice. Backsweeten with, there you go, backsweeten with blackberry juice. I don't know if I did that, but yeah. So yeah, so that's essentially how you backsweeten with the honey. So what you need to know is, one, you need to know what sweetness you like. And the best way to do that is try meads. And when you find a sweetness that you like, take a gravity reading. I know that I like a sweet mead that is at a gravity around 1020. So when I backsweeten up to 1020. And then going into that, the other way that you can sweeten, keep your meads sweet, is you can step feed the honey. So what do I mean by step feeding honey? Well, you have your mead and it's fermenting and it ferments down dry. What you do now is you add the honey up to the sweetness level that you like. As I mentioned, I like a sweetness of about 1020. So I add honey so it's back up to 1020. Then I let it sit for a while and the yeast will chew through that, at which point I will need to add more honey. So you just keep doing this. Just keep on adding the honey up to that sweetness level, again for me, 1020, until after several weeks or whatever, it has stabilized at the 1020 mark. The yeast will no longer chew through it because they're either done, they can't survive in the alcohol that's left, or that they've caused, or they've just completely exhausted themselves and are just completely done. So yeah, so as I mentioned, like going through and chewing up all that yeast creates a lot more alcohol. So it can produce a much higher alcohol content than what you may be expecting doing it that way. Like if you have a yeast that's good for 14%, doing this, you can quite often push them up to 15 or 16%. With that, that will stress the yeast. It can stress the yeast and cause off flavor. So you need to be very careful and make sure the yeast are very happy. You want the mead to be fermenting in temperature range that the yeast are happy at. Usually the low end. So if you have a yeast that's good for 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, then ferment at 68 degrees. The other thing is every time you add honey, you'll want to add just a little bit of nutrients to go along with it, organic. So like Fermade K or Fermade O. Just add a little bit so that the yeast have something other than just honey to go along with it to keep them happy. Otherwise, again, you get stressed yeast, which produce the off flavor, the fusels, the phenolics, and all that mess. So yeah, and that's how you get your meads backsweetened, or instead of backsweetening it, step feeding the honey, and then that way you don't have to add the chemicals to it if you don't want to use chemicals. And with that, my friends, that is the end of Mead Monday. Hopefully you've enjoyed, learned something. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. The subscribe button down there, it looks to be fondled, so go ahead, fondle that button down there so that you can see my videos as they pop up. If you want to be notified via email or whatever, there's a bell button down there. Hit that bell button and it will make sure you get notified when my videos pop up. Try to do a Mead Monday every Monday. I try to do another video every once in a while as well. Right now, not so much because I'm busy with my book. The book is coming. We're getting close. Editing has just been taking a lot longer than expected. But by the end of February, for sure, absolutely for sure, by the end of February, my book will be available. And once that is out there and available, then we will be getting into the 4th annual Canadian Sasquatch Mead Challenge. And it's going to be a good one. Ooh, it's going to be good. So yeah, Stay tuned for that. And my friends, without you guys, these videos would not be possible. Send me your questions. Comment down below. Shoot me up on Facebook, Twitter. Give me your questions so I have something to talk about in the coming weeks. Cheers, everybody. Be sure to have a pint of awesome. I know I will with this tasty Blackberry Melomel from Texas Mead Works. Cheers, everybody.